Welcome to the library's Lunch and Learn session on Knovel, an engineering database. The Lunch and Learn program is an ongoing series of mini lectures on a variety of research-based topics and databases. Please check the Lunch and Learn page at library.rrc.ca for more information. Let's get started. Knovel is more than a database of ebooks covering a variety of engineering subject areas. During this session, we will be exploring the many unique and interactive tools included in this database. Today's objectives include: what is Knovel and how do we access it? Searching Knovel, My Knovel, Material Properties Search, Knovel Interactive Equations, and Knovel Interactive Tools. If you're interested in the PowerPoint guiding this session, it can be downloaded from this address. Please note the address is case sensitive. To get the most from this presentation, please access the speaker notes. The speaker notes are extensive and will contain additional information and links to related documents. First off, before we dive in, let's address the search engine in the room. Yes, Knovel ebooks are included in the library's OneSearch tool. OneSearch makes finding print and electronic resources across multiple databases straightforward and simple. So why are we here talking about Knovel then? As stated in the introduction, Knovel is much more than just ebooks, and all those extra resources and tools cannot be accessed through OneSearch. You must go directly through the Knovel platform. So what is it? The official statement from the producer is engineering data and technical references to solve engineering problems. Knovel gives us access to many tools, including searching Knovel for ebooks, text sections, equations, properties and materials, definitions, and tables or graphs. My Knovel, which will allow us to save search results and equations, share our work, and be more efficient. The materials properties search, Knovel interactive equations, and Knovel interactive tools including calculators, periodic tables, and more. Knovel is a powerful tool for anybody who is working in a variety of engineering fields. The library subscribes to a number of Knovel collections as shown on the slide. This is not the entire group, however, so you may come across content that is locked because the library does not subscribe to that section. So let's dive into Knovel and start learning what we can access. We can access all databases by clicking on the orange Articles and Databases tab above the OneSearch box on the library homepage. The list contains descriptions of databases and can be sorted in a variety of ways. Databases included in OneSearch will have the OneSearch icon beside them, but you can still select them and search them directly to take advantage of all the features available to that specific database. To access Knovel, click on the K or scroll the list, and then click on the database. Knovel does take a minute to load, so be patient. The search functions give us access to just about everything that Knovel can do for us. We can use basic search box to look for keywords in ebooks or text chapters, equation names, properties or materials, and more. To make the best use of this search, use Boolean operators, quotes, and wildcards to formulate complex searches, and we'll talk more about that in an upcoming slide. Click the Include Synonyms to expand your search net beyond your keywords, and use the Advanced Search to access field-specific boxes when you know the title, author, or publisher of the item you're looking for. You will want to watch for the Lunch and Learn session Research Skills for more about advanced searching techniques that can be applied in Knovel. Boolean is a type of code or syntax that allows us to create more complex searches. We can nest groups of terms in specific ways to influence how our search results are found. Most, if not all, databases will use Boolean, including Google, so it's good to get familiar with how it works. There are three terms that are commonly used. AND allows us to refine our net. We need to find both terms in this statement, but they don't need to be close to each other. OR allows us to expand our net by searching for variations. Finding term 1 or term 2 is acceptable, but it's not necessary to have both. We do this when a term has synonyms, multiple spellings, and so on, to make sure we collect as many of these options as possible. Not gives us the opportunity to exclude terms. This can be useful if there are broad topics you want to exclude, or if a term has multiple meanings and you're getting too many results that aren't relevant. Use not with caution though, as you could be excluding something worthwhile. Many databases are sensitive to how searches are built. Remember to always put your operators in capitals so the search engine treats them as operators and not regular keywords. And always put phrases in quotation marks to ensure the phrase is treated as a unit and not a group of individual keywords. Many databases, including Knovel, allow for the use of special characters called wildcards. Wildcards allow you to easily search for plurals or variations in spelling without having to insert all variations within your search. In Knovel, we can use the question mark to represent a single character and the asterisk to represent a lack of character or multiple characters. The general rule of thumb for wildcards is they cannot be used at the beginning of a term and they won't work within quotation marks. In my example, I searched for liquid metals, in quotations, and corrosion. On the search results page, we can see many functions. Our search is in the top and can be changed at any time, including switching on and off include synonyms feature. We can share search results with other Knovel users. We can save search query to my Knovel, and we'll talk more about that in a bit. We can filter by type, including books or text, graphs or tables, definitions. We might also see here equations or properties depending on our search results. We can refine by concept by clicking on the filtering topics down the left side. For example, I might select corrosive ware. And when you're ready to explore a result, click on the hyperlinked title. The result I selected to explore was a section of text from an ebook. You can see the relevant keywords highlighted in the text. On the search result detail page, we have a horizontal toolbar across the top with many of the usual suspects, including download, print, and zoom. But there are many other functions here that are specialized to Knovel. Moving left to right, we have expand collapse view to add or remove excess toolbars and banners. We can display the table of contents for the ebook in a sidebar. The star will always point to save to my Knovel. Share this content with other Knovel users. Save content to read on a mobile device using Knovel Mobile. Download, print. Use citation to upload your result to RefWorks reference collection. We have zoom. Toggle sticky headers on and off. Turn on screen reader view. Add notes and highlights to sections of text. And toggle view notes on and off. Let's look at another way to find information. A quick way to get an understanding of what might be available in a broader swath than doing a specific keyword search is using the browse function. Think of this like browsing the shelves at your local library. We start browsing from a high-level subject, say civil engineering, and drilling down through subtopics such as building and energy efficiency to get a list of results. I can then filter my results by references or ebooks or equations. When I click on an ebook, it will take me to the ebook details, and we'll look at that on the next slide. And if I select to look at an equation, it will open in the interactive equations result page, which we'll explore in a few minutes. Here's an example of an ebook. We have lots of information on this page as well as some functions. There's a description and picture of the book. We can save to my Knovel and or mobile Knovel. We can get a citation for the book. We can share the results with another Knovel user. Knovel also displays new and related books to explore and an interactive table of contents. By clicking on the table of contents, we can see within the ebook, and as we saw in the earlier slide, more functions become available. I've mentioned saving results and searches to my Knovel a couple of times. Before we go any further, let's explore my Knovel as it is a very powerful addition to my Knovel. My Knovel will allow us to save our searches. You can save references, ebooks and results, equations and properties. We can sort our saved items into folders to stay organized, and we can share those folders with our peers. The process to create an account is fairly straightforward. Always access Knovel through the library so the Knovel will know that you are an RRC subscribed user. Click on Welcome to RRC in the top right-hand corner and click Create Account. From here, follow the instructions. Whenever we have a result equation and so on, we will have the opportunity to save it to My Knovel. Watch for the star icon. When you click the star, you will be given the option to add the item directly to a folder, or you can create a new folder if necessary. You can also add comments, perhaps why you saved this reference, or a note to a colleague who will be accessing this from a shared folder. And when you're done, click Save. Similar to saving a result, we can save our search query to My Knovel. Again, watch for that star icon. Once you click the star, you have similar functions as saving a result. You can add the search directly to a folder. You can also add comments. There's a new function on this page called Create an Alert. When you create an alert, Knovel will notify you when new content is uploaded that fits this search. And you will see these notifications in My Knovel. When you're done, click Save. When you're ready to retrieve the results and searches that you've saved to My Knovel, click on the icon on the left-hand sidebar. The box expands, and we are first displayed with quick access links, shortcuts to our most recent additions to My Knovel. Use these shortcuts to quickly access My Knovel content. To see the full feature, click on Go to My Knovel. This will give you access to folders, activity, profiles, alerts, and so on. Knovel gives us the ability to share content through the database by clicking on the Share icon. Within My Knovel, we can also opt to share entire folders with other My Knovel users. This is an excellent tool when collaborating on projects. The folders we have shared with others will have a slightly different icon and be displayed under My Folders. The folders that others have shared with us will be displayed under Shared Folders. Alright, let's look at a different type of search. The Materials Property Search is a specialized search tool. The wizard allows us to build queries to look for materials and properties of materials, including plastics and polymers, metals, alloys, composites, and chemicals. Access the property search by clicking on the icon on the left-hand sidebar to open the function, and then click on Open Material Property Search. Here we have the Material Property Search wizard. We can search for materials or substances using the large box in the middle, and we can search for properties using the smaller search box on the right-hand sidebar. Over the next slides, we're going to explore a couple of ways to use this search. In the first example, I'm looking for the unknown properties of a known material. I did a search for titanium alloys by putting the material in the Materials or Substance name box at the top of the wizard. The search is predictive and will try to assist you. Clicking Enter, I find there is approximately 136 results for my material. Now we can filter by properties. What's available will depend on what you searched for and what information is available. In some cases, you can drill down by clicking on the caret. Drag and drop a maximum of 3 properties into the white space. You will note that the results list will change as the information is filtered. I added electrical conductivity and I have 1 result left. We can also change the operators for that property from the default exists to greater than, less than, equals, and so on. By adding values, we can fine-tune exactly what we want to find. Again, what's available depends on the property. This may have a drastic effect on the results if there's only a few available to start with. We're going to explore the operators and values on the next example. Once you're done, click Result, and we will take a look at the results page. On this page, we see previews of the results. Remember, we can save this search to My Knovel or share it directly. Click on the View Full Table of the result that you want to explore. Let's go back to the wizard and explore another scenario. In this second second example, I'm looking for an unknown material based on required or known properties. Using the search box on the right-hand sidebar, I searched for the property boiling point and dragged that property into the middle. I then changed the operator to greater than or equal to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I then added a search for melting point, dragged it in, and changed the operator to less than or equal to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I ended up with 26 results: materials with a boiling point greater than or equal to 200 degrees Fahrenheit and a melting point less than or equal to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. We can explore the results and hopefully find the material that meets our property needs. On a side note, I am not an engineer, so this might not be a realistic example, but I hope that it serves to show you how to use this tool. Let's look at the Interactive Equations tool. There are over 1,000 different equations accessible through Knovel. Like the Materials Properties search, you may see equations showing up in different search results, but this tool is designed to get you there efficiently. All interactive equations have been specifically selected and vetted by experts. Clicking on the icon on the left-hand sidebar to open the function, we can select to go to Equations Home or go directly to a new Solver worksheet. We'll explore Equation Solver in a minute. For now, let's look at My Equations by clicking on the Equations Home. At Equations Home, we have a list of subjects on the left, the number indicating how many equations are available for each collection. There are some instructions as to help on the right side of the screen, and in the top right-hand corner, a blue box which will open Equation Solver. Near the top of the subject list is My Equations, the equations that we've already saved in My Knovel. By clicking on this link and a second Go to My Knovel, Save My Equations, we can access our saved equations. Please note that all collections and related equations are displayed on this page, including the ones we don't subscribe to. You may encounter lock icons if an equation is outside the current subscription. To find an equation, first click on a subject. It will expand to give you a drop-down of subtopics. Drill down through the subtopics until you get close to your desired result. Numbers beside the topics indicate how many equations are available for that category. Results will automatically update as you select topics. You can use the search box at the top to further refine your results by adding keywords. You will be able to see a list of possible equations with a description, and you can save the equation to My Knovel at this stage by clicking the button beside the title. When you're ready, click the hyperlinked title to see the details about the equation. On the equation results page, we can see a detailed description of the equation, including the contributor, references, and the recommended citation for the equation so it can be referenced. If appropriate, a sample of the equation and variables will also be displayed. From here, we can append the equation to an open worksheet if you already have one open, or we can click on the equation or the Open Worksheet button to open it in Equation Solver. Equation Solver is a browser-based calculation platform that is embedded in Knovel. No need to download anything. There's a lot of functionality here. Tabs across the top allow us to have multiple sheets open at once, and we can open blank sheets to create our own equations using the functions of the toolbars. The top horizontal bar controls the functions of the sheet itself. Here we have Save, Print, Edit functions, toggle Auto Calculate on and off, add pictures, plots, and other attributes. The side vertical toolbar controls the calculations. Here you can access arithmetic, matrices, Boolean, functions, programming, and Greek characters to build your equation. When equations are uploaded to the solver, there are some standard sections including description, variables, and so on. The calculations are set to automatically update when you change the values. We can also change the units by selecting the units on the sheet and then selecting the top toolbar units. We could probably do a whole session on just these equations, but I'm not a mathematician, so I'm going to recommend that you check out the video links to learn the nitty-gritty. And if you have problems, don't hesitate to contact us and we will be happy to see if we can help you. Knovel also includes an extensive interactive unit converter. Here we can access elaborate, complex, and customizable conversion tables that access 1,000 unique units for approximately 90 properties. Clicking on the box on the left-hand navigation gives us the quick converter and quick links to recent conversions. Clicking on Go to Full Unit Converter takes us to a page with much more detail and functionality. Here, my Knovel users can mark and sort favorite units by clicking the star beside the unit in the drop-down, create and save custom units specific to your profession by clicking New Unit, and save default settings such as units, significant digits, and so on in My Settings. Under More Tools, we can find some useful functions, and there's a few I'm going to highlight. The first is an interactive periodic table of elements. Click on an element to see further details about that particular selection. Elements can be saved in My Knovel, downloaded, printed, and so on. For power engineers, Knovel has applied a collection of steam calculators. Unlike many other types of steam calculators, these calculators support ranges and increments for temperature, pressure, and quality. And finally, there is Mobile Knovel, which can be installed on your mobile device. You can upload documents to the mobile for offline review. Click the link and follow the instructions to install the app. This must be done through the database to work with the subscription. We've covered a lot of information and at a very high level. Here's how you can get more information. Knovel has a great help feature. You will find short video tutorials on most pages. These are embedded throughout the database. Just look for the video icon to access these tutorials. You can also go to the Knovel Support Center for more videos and an easy-to-use search if you need help with a specific function or feature. The database's help support is quite useful and easy to use. As part of the library's Lunch and Learn program, a guide has been created to accompany the content covered here today. Please visit the guide for more information on this topic. A direct link will also be added to the Lunch and Learn page on the library website. Further questions? Don't hesitate to contact us. You can contact the facilitator of this presentation directly by email, or you can go to the library homepage and click the Ask Us button to open a chat with the reference desk. You can also ask to speak to individuals here. Thank you for attending. Please check out the webpage for more information about other Lunch and Learn sessions. New web videos will be added weekly, and live presentations to continue in fall 2020. How did we do? If you haven't done so already, please take the time to fill out our quick survey using the following link. We appreciate your feedback. Please send your questions and comments and feedback about the Library Lunch and Learn program to Rosemary at rwoodby@rrc.ca.